Today is a very special day. It is so special because it's just the two of us, and this is the Reach Report. And just imagine, I say this all the time, it's like we at the Super Bowl. The crowd is just roaring. You hear all the applause. People are standing up and everything because of the guest host we have today. So for all our guests, for all our viewers, for all of our audience, this is the Reach Report. And today I'm going to let this young lady, her name is Sandra Mosley, I'm going to let her introduce herself and welcome her to the Reach Report.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Very simply, this is my 30 seconds. Sandra Mosley. I live in Indiana. I'm a faith-based entrepreneur, an author, and I work with financial services and HR, and I have known this family for a very long time.
Yes.
And I'm still learning who this family is, who Mr. Sean is, and the rest of the Roche family. So just really glad to be here.
Oh, man, that was awesome. That was awesome. I appreciate that. We definitely been knowing each other for a long time.
Okay, so listen. Where is Sean?
Well, Sean is under the weather. He is under the weather, but he is attached to this actual episode. He's always got his hands on every episode. Mm-hmm. He is an editor. He is an illustrator. He is a graphic designer. He is a salesperson. He is everything. He is the co-owner of Appet Art, the famous Appet Art company.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's not here today. He's not feeling well, but we wish him good, fast health, and we hope that that he is able to come back for the next episode and be a part of the crew, be part of the every episode crew.
All right, so make sure that you are compensating him in his absence. That would be very good. Encourage him. Give him some podcast lead time. He needs some podcast lead. Make him well.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, she is. Oh, my goodness.
So I have so many questions that I think the viewers will want to know.
Okay.
Now, as an author, it's really important that I connect with my audience. Mm-hmm. And so with your expertise, tell me what I need to do to connect with my audience on my website.
On your website.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask this. On your website, I believe I briefly seen it, but on your website, what are you actually doing on your website that we're speaking of? What are you actually doing? Is it more e-commerce, or is it more of a kind of like a profile to you and who you are, or kind of explain to me?
It's a mixture of a bowl of spaghetti that's a hot mess right now.
Okay.
So I have, and I'll use it as a tier, like an org chart. Mm-hmm. So at the top is First Choice Together, but underneath that are different pillars.
Okay. And
I have reviewed some of the sites that you've done and the way that you made them make sense for someone who's visiting the site. Like I like simple. It's like I want people to be able to find what they need quickly. That's a lot easier said than done. I have no clue how to make that happen, but I know you do. And so when you're working with someone, and as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we have more than one thing that we're working on, right? Yes. How do you help a person conceptualize what that would look like so that their customer will be able to find what they want without having to search?
Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually speak about it, but I'm going to put it in a way that you're going to be able to grasp it, and then the understanding aspect of it is how you're going to grow just from this episode in itself.
Okay.
Because what we do is I have an understanding of what we call UX, user experience, but it's really just putting yourself on the other side of the fence. What am I going to see and experience in your website? Okay. Right? So when you have this particular kind of website where you're offering different type of businesses or different type of sections of business under one umbrella. You want to make sure that when they come to this is how it flows in that information. You can always have a priority of which one you want to show first, showcase first, or whatever the case.
I'm taking notes.
Yes, okay. I advise you to. Which one you want to showcase first, which one you feel like is more of a priority. Then you want to be able to structure to where that priority is front and center. It doesn't take me so many different layers of drop-down menus and options to be able to get to the basics. Okay? I totally believe that people are not in tune with websites where they feel like they're going to read 100% of every word on your website the first time they experience it. They're going to be running through your website so fast. Like, a lot of people don't understand that the average website has probably like an 8 to 10 second bounce rate. 8 to 10 seconds, we know you can't read an entire site in 8 to 10 seconds. Right. So we got to understand that what kind of navigation needs to be in front of 8 to 10 seconds to be able to get to what I really want to get to. So even when I may come for one reason, but I see something that attracts me, I know that the navigation is right there just in case next time I come, I'm going to be able to find it there and read more and find out more about those other areas in the website. But genuinely, we fall in love with websites and come back to them because of how easy it was to find what we wanted to find initially. So we tend to say, okay, if that's 8 to 10 seconds, the first time somebody's coming there, they're already knowing in their mind why. So they're not venturing off, like we call it, window shopping or different things of that nature. People don't window shop on the internet. They literally come to something because they already have it in mind of what they want to see. What drew them to it in the first place? Whether they met you, let's just say you met them at a networking event and you passed them one of your cards. They already have in their mind what they're going to look for when they get to that website. So what they're going to look for should be somewhere very evident and simply navigated to on the top of the website, whether it be the menu, slideshow, or just options right below the slideshow. Those are things that have to attribute to, just navigating through that very easily. So no matter what area, it could be 4 different topics, 5 different topics, whatever the case may be, but it's going to be one that's going to be the main draw. And then you just kind of break it down from there. This is going to be the main draw. This is secondary, and on and on. So from there, you're going to build it that way. And then one thing about it is, guess what? If you have someone like me, I'm going to tell you, hey, based on the analytics on your site, they like option 2 better than option 1. So let's just change the rotation. Let's make this one 1 and make this one 2 because they tend to pass up the 1. So why fight them against that? Just give it to them. You see what I'm saying? If they fall in love with option 2, let's make option 2 number 1 now, because we keep seeing that they keep clicking on option 2.
So in terms of the website, we're going to stay here for a minute.
Okay.
When we talk about the ideal customer, who are you marketing to? Who is your avatar? One of the things that I've found is that that's really difficult for entrepreneurs in general to say who my customer is. Just my experience in networking, people will say, well, I serve everybody. And the reality is, you don't. No, you don't. And so even in going through when the Reach Report was at the conference and you talked about how to identify your customer and what types of things to look for, can you talk a little bit about, help people understand like how to really identify their avatar? Because we think that everybody everybody, first of all, people don't care about what you're making, right? Like I'm talking to that one person, which could theoretically be hundreds of thousands of people that really are my avatar and not the gazillions that are really out there.
Right.
So how can a person get comfortable with, because it's real scary, to really identify who that one profile is that you're looking for, that's looking for what you have.
Okay.
Before you get to the website.
I'm gonna try this, and I want you to follow my lead as much as possible. It's very easy. You don't even need a pen. It's very easy. Okay. I was taught this in social media. So I want you to do this. right? I want you to close your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to imagine who your target audience is. Immediately, you're going to have a male or female, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Then you may even dive deeper into an ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
You may even dive deeper into this person got long or short hair, right? You can stop now.
Mm-hmm.
It's that easy to be able to identify your target audience. You have to really visualize who this person is, because guess what? You're going to be more accurate than me.
Mm-hmm.
If I try and tell you who your target audience is, we're going to be all over the place.
Right.
But if you were to visualize it, you can already tell me exactly if it was a male or female. You can already see an age group. You can already see an ethnicity right away.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? That starts as the person. You can start painting that picture and say, this is the person.
Okay.
You can even name her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you start there, and then you say from there, she's going to be the one who enjoys the navigation of my website. But then she's going to be talking to someone else and say, I really found this website I love, and they're going to refer it to her. So remember, she's the core target audience, and everyone else is kind of like you're going from the center outwards.
Outward.
So the next person may not be looking exactly like her,
Mm-hmm.
but she's able to refer this person because she enjoyed what she got out of your website.
Okay.
So from there, long as you concentrate on her, you're going to get everyone else as you start to move laterally with the way you market, the way you build the website, the way you advertise the website, the way it functions in its basic form. Does that help?
That helps. So you start with who your person is.
Yes.
So when I closed my eyes, I was like, okay, this is a female,
Mm-hmm.
faith-based entrepreneur. She's probably between 28 and 50,
Mm-hmm.
could be a single mom
Mm-hmm.
or a mom. She enjoys worship.
Mm-hmm.
She's active in church because she has children,
Mm-hmm.
and they could be, 8 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And she really likes journaling because one of the tools that I use
Mm-hmm.
is journaling.
Okay.
So she likes journaling, and she wants to make sure that the decisions that she makes
Mm-hmm.
align with her faith. So, where she lives, she probably lives in an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
but
You're
she
going
runs her
deep.
business. Yeah, I'm really, so I from what I've learned is like the more you
Yeah.
can define it,
Yeah.
then the better. And I've taken a lot of time to think about it
Yeah.
because I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I've been creating journals, oh my gosh, since the 90s.
Okay.
And but I never thought about that. I created them for my use because I wanted to doodle, and then it became I don't see anything that represent who I am.
Okay.
And so that kind of fostered that, not thinking about this as a business, a strategy, or anything, just really wanting a way to capture my notes. And I just got tired of looking at what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I never really, when I was trying to transition, I struggled with that, trying to identify, well, who? My friends, my family. I mean, everybody that loves you is going to tell you that it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is, and that's not, they love you. They're going to tell you that,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's non-biased.
Right, it's non-biased.
Or biased, if I'm going to say that, yeah.
And so when you're looking at a broader area of people that don't know you, you really got to identify who it is, who it's for.
Yeah.
And get okay with someone saying, oh, I don't really like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Be
okay with it.
Be okay with it up front.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And so that drives how your website is going to look and function. I think that is amazing.
And I think that when I deal with customers, clients, I want them to tell me exactly that. I want you to be able to tell me what somebody said as they critiqued, the experience of your website. I want to know because I want to put myself in their shoes and say, you know what, maybe that area is a little more confusing than, it is, and that we could help with that.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to take every experience and take it, serious and try and, implement change that will simplify what they experience. Long as you're being proactive in that, you're in a great situation. Because some people will leave a website stagnant even after they hear something like, okay, I was confused here or there, or whatever the case may be. So you want to be able to, hey, express that to your developer or designer and say, hey, this customer experienced this. Is there anything that we can do to kind of help with, that? And I would say, yes, it's always something that you can do, because I learned in UX that you can't over command a website. Does that make sense?
No.
Press here, click here, go here, backspace.
Okay.
You can't over command it. You just build it correctly the first time. So it's like I can't force everyone to swipe. If there's nothing that they will understand that they're supposed to swipe, then it's not enough commands that you can give them, because you could just run commands all over the place and it just makes it even more confusing. They should know this feels like this should swipe left to right. So I'm going to give you a cheat code. If something swipes left to right, then you know what they do? They stagger the image where it's already off the page anyway. So you figure in your mind, like, why is that off? And then you move your thumb, and the next it swipes to the next stage. Because it's not centered. If it's centered, you would never think that it should swipe left to right.
Now that you say that, that makes sense. Because I just saw something that did that, and I kept saying, why? I'm trying to get the rest of the image on, and when I hit the little carrot, it moved over.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So other than saying swipe left, you just take that image and you offset it so that they automatically swipe because they feel like it's not centered anyway. So those are things that people do in development to make sure that those areas in the website are not forgotten. They're more experienced because, hey, it may be something very important in that next swipe. It may be that next option that we talked about, option 1 and then option 2. So we want to be able to make sure those areas in the site are looked at and being talked about, discussed, and you're being proactive with what's taking place with the site. Because if we're to run analytics and we're knowing that they keep going to option 2, then we switch those two. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So again, those are things that I think that just helps in a big way. And I want to jump back to what we were saying about the target audience, right? So when you go even further with visualizing, who my target audience is, then you can go about, what would a day look like for this individual? Does this individual spend a lot of time on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok? You're going to start identifying these different social media accounts that they may use within a day. Is this a person that watches TV, looks at YouTube, enjoys music, or whatever the case may be? You want to be able to just go so far funneling down that you're starting to really identify the day-to-day of this particular, target audience. So now when it's time to say, okay, I want to attribute marketing dollars to attract these individuals.
Okay.
And once you start doing that, now you can base your clicks based on the fact that this person may work 8 hours a day or something like that. So running hours during the days that they work is not going to be as effective than running it during times where they might be off of work.
So how would you do that? I mean, how does that happen? How do I know that Claire is on Facebook if she comes to am I gathering information?
Well, you're going back to that vision.
Okay.
You're going back to that vision. You spoke about the fact that this person would be, you got real deep with exactly who that target audience would be. So taking a step further about, what kind of social media platform they would use, it's not difficult. Okay. Because you just really identify. If I was to take what you said, I would say that person probably spends times on Facebook and probably spend a nice amount of time on LinkedIn also. Because I know a lot of people, they have means of following different individuals that have faith-based following on LinkedIn also because they're professionals too. So they're looking at, because I look at it as goal-oriented people.
Okay.
That journal, let's just say that.
Okay.
Goal-oriented people that really get into journaling. They have goals set. They're really organized. So a person that fit that description, to me personally, would be probably on LinkedIn. Facebook is just more of entertainment. And they may have groups, though. They may have groups on Facebook that are right in line with that type of target audience. But I feel like some of those people would be on LinkedIn also. So I wouldn't leave that type of social media platform out of it.
Okay. This is Sean, number one. This is really good information to help you think about all the stuff that you don't know that you really need to think about.
Yes.
So when people go to like a Wix and they just start they're like, oh, I'm going to build this website in 2 minutes. Yeah. And they just kind of put it together.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't work.
Yes. I'm super transparent. It's 2025.
Because I've done that before.
Right.
Come, you build it, they will come.
Yeah, I'm going to be super transparent with you. It's 2025. I had someone, I would say just the other day, they were showing me a website that they had. And they were saying, they built it, they did this and this and that. And I said, well, based on what you have, I can tell you some are more effective as to helping you draw people into your website, helping you draw people based off of search engine optimization, right? And this particular site, I'm able to look at what we call source pages. Some people know what source pages is. That's if you right click a website, it'll say view source page. And it's just going to show you all the coding. The coding you can see.
Right.
Some coding you can't see. Right. The coding you can see. And I showed this individual, I was like, the title of their page was blank. Do you know how effective the titling of your page can be? And there's no minimum character to titling a page. So I can name it your name, the name of the business, where the business is generated out of, Northwest Indiana, Maryville, Chicagoland, or wherever else. I can put addresses, phone numbers in there. Because the title of a page, and I'm giving gems out, the title of a page at one point, maybe not today as effective, but at one point was the number one SEO means of search engines filtering your website. The number one title for web pages back in, let's say, 8 years ago was home. So it would be home page.
Yeah.
That doesn't help you at all.
But it makes sense, but it doesn't.
It doesn't help you at all.
Right. Homepage.
Homepage.
Yes.
Which page? Home. Doesn't help you at all. Why can't it be called Sandra Mosley?
Right. Okay, y'all. He's spilling gems.
And then one thing I found out is back in the day, developers, we found out that Google would list every page separately. It's not going on now, but back in the days, we found out that Google would list every page separately. So you ever looked for a specific business and you've seen their homepage, their mission page, about us? Yeah. They don't do that no more. They just list the homepage. Because they were competing amongst one another and they were pushing competitors down because they had so many pages attributed to it. So Google went out and said, you know what, we're just going to put your index page, which is your home page. Okay. We're going to put just your index page, and then the next listing will be your competitor.
Okay. So
sometimes your competitor can be what? Social media. So if I Google Sandra Mosley's, I may come sandramosley.com. Then Sandra Mosley's Facebook page, Sandra Mosley's TikTok page, Instagram or whatever, LinkedIn. Those are results separate from your website.
Okay.
So, but again, that title page is the strongest area for your page when Google filters the internet. Google's filtering the internet and taking all the words in your coding to determine where you should be placed according to how someone tries to find your services or goods. So they're typing in services or goods. Sometimes they may be in a specific place, so that may determine where you come up. But again, if you get real savvy with your title page, you're able to be a little more effective than the next person that may not have done that. And back to a Wix or other DIYs, those scenarios are forgotten. You build it, you put this picture here, you got this here, you got the verbiage you wanted. Looks grand. but it's not effective on the back end because it's missing some SEO pointers that you could simply put in. You should be able to do that. Not all of the DIY sites will allow you that access.
So we see a lot. I'm gonna shift a little bit. We see a lot of AI. So when you're searching on Google, what you see now, what I see are the AI responses. Like if I say, "Who won the Super Bowl last night?" Well, let me do it's Black History. So let me pick if we're looking for. I just had one. Well, we'll do Harriet Tubman. AI is going to write a response, and that's Google, right? And then